Hi guys, it's Sterling Inspector here. In today's video, I'm going to be going over all the proof consensuses in crypto. Before the video starts, please like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Also, if you want to support the channel, I have crypto donation addresses in the description below. So there are many ways to verify a blockchain out there. The way in which you choose to verify a blockchain is called a consensus. Today, I'm going to be explaining all the crypto consensuses that have been used to verify blockchains. The biggest and most popular consensus is proof of work. This is a consensus that big coins like Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum use. Proof of work process is also called mining, and the miners are known as nodes. Miners solve complicated mathematical puzzles that require extensive computational power. For this purpose, miners utilize mining methods such as CPU mining, GPU mining, ASIC mining, and FPGA mining. After solving the mathematical puzzle, a miner receives a block as a reward if they are the first one to find the solution. Additionally, the puzzles can only be solved with trial and error. Hence, miners require an increasing amount of computational power for finding solutions quickly. The level of difficulty for the puzzle changes according to the speed at which blocks are being mined. In the case the blocks are created quicker, the puzzles will get more difficult and vice versa. Therefore, new blocks have to be created within a particular time frame to carefully adjust to the difficulty level of the puzzles. Several popular cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin utilize proof-of-work processes. However, proof-of-work consensus mechanism consumes resources at a staggering rate. According to sources, Bitcoin's current estimated annual power consumption is 51 terawatts per hour. Hence, this approach can be very expensive. As a crypto miner myself, I've seen firsthand the power consumption even small crypto rigs need, so the use of energy is definitely a problem for proof of work. The next consensus is proof of stake. Proof of stake uses a randomized process to figure out who gets a chance to produce the next block. Blockchain users can lock up their tokens for a certain amount of time to become a validator. After becoming a validator, users will be able to produce blocks. Validators can also be selected based on the design of blockchain. Generally, the user who owns the biggest stake or owns coins for the longest period of time has better odds of creating a new block. Validators usually get rewarded for their work with a part of the transaction fees or all of the transactions carried out for the block. Alternatively, validators may receive specific amount of coins due to inflation. With this approach, proof of stake method offers incentives to validators for maintaining the blockchain network. Proof of stake is more energy efficient compared to other blockchain consensus mechanisms like proof of work. If you keep up with the crypto space, you'll know that Ethereum is switching their network from proof of work to proof of stake in order to lower the gas fees on the network. So proof of work and proof of stake are the two main consensuses used in crypto right now. What I'm about to go over next are the unique proof consensuses that aren't used very often, but I believe people should be looking in for new ways to improve the blockchain. So the next consensus is proof of activity. Proof of activity is not to be confused with proof of authority, as they share the same abbreviation of POA. This combines proof of work and proof of stake protocols in a way that can allow participants to both mine and stake their tokens to validate blocks. Under most proof of activity setups, miners compete to mine blocks in exchange for token rewards. However, the blocks themselves do not include transactions. Rather, they are empty templates embedded with the transaction title and block reward address. The information in the transaction title is used to randomly select a validator node to sign the block and confirm it into the blockchain ledger. And only token holders are eligible to become validators. From there, the network security fee is split between the miners and the validators involved in the processing of signing the block. The proof of activity blockchain consensus mechanism helps lower the chance of a 51% attack because its structure makes it practically impossible to predict which validators will sign a block in the future. And competition among both miners and transaction signers helps strike an effective balance between different network participants. However, this system is subject to many of the criticisms often aimed at proof of work and proof of stake, since a significant amount of energy is still required to mine blocks during this protocol's proof of work phase. And the major token holders still have a disproportionately high chance of signing new transactions and accumulating rewards. An example of a proof of activity coin is the Esper network. Now the next consensus is proof of authority. Proof of authority utilizes what's called a reputational-based model to help validate transactions and generate new blocks. In most cases, validators within a proof of authority consensus are users that have been selected and approved by the network to act as moderators of the system. As a result, validators are typically institutional investors or other strategic partners within the blockchain ecosystem that have then invested into this coin long term, and the networks are willing to disclose their identities for the sake of accountability. Therefore, while proof-of-stake blockchains force validator nodes to place financial capital on the line, proof of authority blockchains require validators to place their social capital on the line. That being said, many proof of authority blockchains also require prospective network validators to invest heavily into the network on a financial level in addition to staking their reputation. This allows the network to filter out would-be validators with lukewarm or dubious motives, while financially incentivizing honest nodes that are willing to make long-term commitments. Due to their validator selection process, proof of authority blockchains are often considered relatively centralized by nature. However, the fact that most proof of authority blockchains limit the number of validators, it helps these systems achieve a high level of scalability. As a result, proof of authority consensus mechanisms are generally considered incompatible with fully decentralized permissionless systems and can be an effective choice for private permissionless blockchains. An example of proof of authority coin is VeChain. This next consensus is called proof of burn. Under proof of burn, miners intentionally and permanently destroy or burn tokens in order to obtain proportional rights to mine new blocks and verify transactions. The more tokens a miner burns, the higher the chance the miner will be selected as the next block validator. By demonstrating their dedication to the network via internal token destruction rather than expecting computational resources and leveraging power mining hardware. Miners with a proof of burn setup are able to operate using far less energy than the classic proof of work system. An example of the proof of burn crypto is Counterparty. Next up, we have proof of capacity or proof of space. Proof of capacity uses the available hard drive space in a miner's device to decide its mining rights and validate transactions rather than expending computational power. Under proof of capacity, a list of possible cryptographic mining solutions is stored in the mining device's hardware even before the mining activity commences, with large hard drives being capable of storing more potential solution values. As a result, the more storage capacity a miner has, the higher the chance the miner will be able to match the required hash value of a new block, thus rewarding them with the mining reward. The protocol was designed in order to avoid both the energy inefficiencies of proof of work and the hoarding incentives brought on by proof of stake. A really big coin to utilize this consensus is Chia coin, which back a couple of years used to be over $1,000 per coin, but has come down in price since then. So next we have proof of history, which is used by a major coin in the space called Solana. The proof of history protocol operates via a built-in historical record that proves the specific moment in time at which every on-chain coin event occurred. While most other blockchains require multiple validators to collectively agree on each transaction, each individual Solana validator maintains its own internal clock by encoding the passage of time in a simple cryptographic consensus. This is called a sequential hashing verifiable delay function. Each time Solana's validators communicate, a cryptographic proof of relative order and time of each message is recorded into the network ledger, allowing the network to ignore local clocks and accommodate all potential network delays on their own time. This allows for the efficient delivery and reassembly of all involved transactions without needing to wait for the sequential blocks to be confirmed across the entire network. By achieving blockchain's consensus via proof of history, Solana is able to achieve remarkably fast confirmation times without sacrificing security and still maintaining a relative degree of decentralization. However, there has also been news this year that Solana's network has been down multiple times, which means that proof of history consensus clearly can't handle major network traffic. The last type of consensus I'm covering is proof of storage. Proof of storage relies on data instead of financial staking. Due to the way proof of storage operates, this protocol is mainly used in networks where decentralized data storage capabilities play a prominent role. Under proof of storage, the probability of a node being selected to mine new blocks is determined by the amount of data stored on that node. Therefore, this protocol is similar to proof of stake, but instead of using stake tokens to determine who becomes a validator, proof of storage achieves a consensus by proving that each network participant is actually providing the specific data storage services they claim to be, and rewarding them accordingly. Filecoin, a leading blockchain-based data storage provider, uses two unique forms of proof of storage. These are proof of replication and proof of spacetime. Proof of replication allows a node to verify that a specific piece of data has been replicated on its own uniquely dedicated physical storage device. With proof of spacetime, the Filecoin network randomly selects miners from which data is read for verifications and compressed into a proof of spacetime proof. Therefore, miners must publicly provide the corresponding proof that the given data encoding has remained in physical storage continuously over a specific period of time, thereby verifying whether it has fulfilled its duties during any given time frame. As a result, proof of replication is used to prove that the miner has stored a unique copy of the piece of data at that moment, and that data was sealed. While proof of spacetime is used to spot check random nodes and verify that they are continuously dedicating storage space to that same data over time. So I think I've covered most consensuses in the crypto space, but please let me know in the comments below if I have missed any. There are countless ways for decentralized networks to agree on a single source of truth. As the blockchain sector continues to mature and establish more industrial conventions, the design of these consensus mechanisms will be varying, and significant implications on each network's security, accessibility, and sustainability. It's also important to remember that blockchain developers are constantly finding new ways to mix and match compelling aspects of different consensuses. They do this to form new, better protocols for algorithms. As a result, these hybridized consensus mechanisms may defy conventional classification, and each mechanism has its own strengths and weaknesses which must be assessed. So if you've learned something new via this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel.